What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another quick rant video for you guys. Now, I often hear women say that there aren't any good men out here. You know, we hear it all the time. Hey, the dating pool has pee in it. There aren't any good men. All the good men are taken. You know, there's just no good men left. But what I realized, the conclusion that I've come to is the fact that it's not that there aren't any good men out here. It's that if we're going to really be honest, a lot of women don't want good men. And let me explain. So we have a bunch of women who claim that they want a good man, that they want a good man. You know, good men are hard to find. They're hard to come by. They're all married. They're already taken. But when we hear the requirements that women have for the men that they say they want, and what they are looking for in a man, I realized that a lot of women really don't want good men. It's not about a good man. It's about what he can provide for you. I think a lot of women should rephrase that and say they don't want good men. They want men with a lot of money. You want a rich man. You want a man who's going to give you a lifestyle. Let's just be honest. Because there are women who are walking away from marriages because the men aren't taking them out. They're not splurging on them. They're not spending all this excess money on them. They're not doing all this extra stuff. They're not providing a lifestyle, even though they're providing. These women want what they see on TV. They want what they see on social media. They want to, take trips to Dubai every weekend. They want a man who has the means to just take them out for a good time. They're not just requiring stability anymore. They want a lifestyle. So they want a rich man. And the only man that will be able to do that for you all the time is a really, really, really wealthy man who can just splurge on trips and who will be willing to do that just for you. So they need a rich, super rich man who's just got money to blow and who don't mind blowing it on them. You don't want a good man, because a good man may not make all that money that you're expecting. He may not be able to take you on all these trips. He probably would be an average earner who's able to provide for you and would be there for you and be loyal and protective of you and all of these things that you want as well. But you may not be able to have this fancy lifestyle that a lot of women are looking for. And this is where the whole argument that you can't find a good man falls completely flat, because it's not about a good man. It's about a lifestyle. You just say and be honest. You want a good man with money. You want a rich man with money. Just say that. You want a man who could take you on the trips, do all these things, and still look like you want him to look. You want to still be attracted to him physically. You want him to be tall with the money, six-pack abs, the connecting beard. You want him to look a certain way. You want to be attracted to him. You want him to act a certain way. You want him to be obsessed with you. You want all of the things, So you want all the things that you can get out of this man. Plus you want him to have all this money to do all this. Where you gonna find that at? Where y'all? That's a miracle man. That's a dream man. And this is what women are looking for. And I think they're using this idea that there aren't any good men out here as a way to, to try to make it seem like there aren't. No, you've come across a good man who worked at, a hotel you met him at. He was probably a bus driver. What's wrong with the bus drivers? Bus driver, or Uber driver. He probably was a doorman in your building or somewhere like that, or had a good job, maybe worked at, Lowe's. Yeah, you run across a lot of good guys that probably tried to get your attention, but guess what? They were invisible to you, because that's not what you want. That's not what you really want. Y'all got to stop using the good men as an excuse to say that there aren't any out here, because they're all around you. You just don't want them. You don't want them. You're above that. You're tired of dealing with the bottom of the barrel, which these men are not the bottom of the barrel, because these men could actually make good money, but that's not enough money to give you this superficial lifestyle. See, he probably make enough money along with your money where you guys can work together and live a nice life, but you don't want a nice life. You don't want an average life. You want an above average, superficial, unrealistic life that you've never been able, or probably will never be able to have yourself. But you're looking for a man to provide all this for you, and you want him to be obsessed with you, and you want him to only be for you. Because the only way you might be able to have that type of lifestyle is if you have if you have the looks and the body that these rich men want, and if you have the face card and all of the things that they're looking for, you might be able to get what you want. But guess what? You're going to be one of his women in rotation, baby. You're not gonna, there ain't no, ain't no loyalty and no monogamy here. You're gonna be one of the women in his rotation that he wants to play around with. And you might get a Birkin bag, you might get a few things here and there, but that's about it. And when he's done with you, back to from whence you came. So, this is the dilemma that a lot of women who are out here looking for men are faced with. Y'all, it's not that there aren't good men. You just not really looking for a good man. You want a man to show you a good time. That's the difference. And so that's what it is. This idea that a man's going to sweep you off your feet and change your life and give you this beautiful, lavish lifestyle and want you specifically. No, that ain't happening like that. You have, and if it is, maybe it is happening for some women, but you have to be fit, in shape. You have to look good. You have to make sure you have what it is that he's looking for him to pick you to be in his rotation, just to be in his rotation. Not somebody you want to marry or build a family. These men ain't trying to do that. The men with the money that y'all want, they're not trying to have marriage. They're not trying to be in a monogamous relationship. They're not trying to just have one woman. They want multiple women. Why? Because they can. Because all of y'all are looking for that type of lifestyle. The lifestyle is more important than the actual relationship and building with a man. And if women would be honest, I wish they would just be honest and just say it. Hey, you don't really want no good man, because you're going to mess all over him. You don't really want no good man who's there for you and support. You want money. You want lifestyle. You want travel. You want bags. You want shoes. You want red bottles, Birkin bags, all this stuff that you see on these social media posts. That's what you want. And y'all are still having a hard time getting that. This is why if a man that looks like he has something of that you value, you're ready to drop everything and do whatever it is you need to do to get him. So you'll go out of your way for that, to have a lifestyle, but you won't go out of your way to get a good man that you can build a real stable life with. That's too boring. And a lot of these modern women don't want boring. You don't want the things that are very beneficial to you. You want the superficial things that mean nothing. And that's just what it is. And if that's how you want to live your life, cool. Live your life. But if you can't find somebody who's willing to give you all of that, what are you going to do? Still complain about men ain't this and men ain't that. It ain't no good men out here. No, there's plenty of good men. Y'all don't want good men. That's the truth. That is the God honest truth. You don't want a good man. You just want a lifestyle. And if you can't get that lifestyle, then you won't settle. You won't settle for a good man because he can't give you all of these superficial things, or may not be willing to give it to you because he's a good man and he has priorities and he's looking for the future. He wants a family. He want to build with his family. He don't want somebody that's always looking to just spend money on them. So if you want a trick, just say that. You want a trick. You want somebody who's going to trick off to you, and that's it. You can get what you want out of them. They get what they want out of you, and then you go back to your life and you good. Be honest with your intentions and what it is that you want, to stop putting it on the fact that, or your feelings that there aren't any good men out here, because there are. Y'all know good and well you don't want these good men. You want a lifestyle from the rich and the famous, and that is it. So stop lying.